What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and man, oh man, have we just had a bomb dropped on us. So, there was just a post put up on the Advanced Warfare subreddit that claims to reveal the 4th game mode in Advanced Warfare. It claims that it's called Hellspawn, and it actually gives us quite a bit of information about this game mode, and I'm using air quotes there. So, first and foremost, before we get into this thing, I want you guys to know that you've got to be skeptical about this. You know, you can't assume this is true. It's a random Reddit person, so, you know, there's no really credibility there. There's no proof that he provided or anything like that. You know, situations like this, it's really tough to tell because sometimes they end up being true, sometimes they end up being partially true, and sometimes they end up just being completely fake. Now, this post here, it doesn't include anything that he would get any, you know, kind of like reward out of this apart from trolling. Like, he's not, you know, posting his YouTube channel or his Twitter or his website or his product or anything like that. So he's really not getting anything out of posting this, which kind of gives it a little bit more credibility in my eyes, because a lot of times you see people trolling and then kind of leading to a YouTube channel or something like that. But, you know, it's still, you know, you have to be skeptical because this is a super, super bold statement. Like, this is pretty crazy what he's saying in here, but it is very, very interesting, and there is that little, you know, flicker of hope that it could be real. So, let's start off here. He says, there will be a 4th game mode called Hellspawn that they are trying to keep under wraps until the game comes out. They want it to be a surprise, like how IW wanted Extinction to be a surprise until it leaked. So if you guys remember last year, Extinction wasn't announced until a week before the release, and the only reason why it was announced is because people started getting copies of the game early, and they started posting videos of Extinction, like, you know, on Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that. So then they came out with a trailer and kind of fully announced it. So, you know, it could be the same situation this year. That's why they only announced the you know, kind of Exo Survival mode of co-op. And side note, hold on, do you guys really think Sledgehammer, the company that's been, you know, kind of listening to us, you know, from the very beginning and giving us pretty much everything we've ever wanted, would really think that we would be okay with only an Exo Survival game mode? Like, really think about that. They have done such a good job listening to the community so far. Do you honestly think that they would be okay with just doing Exo Survival? I don't think so. That's why I'm so confident that there is a 4th game mode, because I don't think that they would do that. I think they're much smarter than that. I think they know the community wants a new, you know, crazy type of game mode, and I think they're going to give it to us, which is, you know, another reason why this is kind of looking good in my eyes. But anyway, back to the post. He says, the menu for the Hellspawn game mode starts with you waking up on the floor in a dark room with flickering lights, and there are pentagrams and all types of satanic stuff on the walls and floor drawn in blood. Holy crap, this sounds amazing. You then select your game options like public or private, class selection, which stage you want to play on, and then in parentheses he says maps are not chapter based like IW's Extinction. They're more like Treyarch Zombies, where the game comes with 5 maps and then there are 4 DLC maps for the future. All together, they make the 9 circles of hell. So, man, this sounds insane. Now he says, after you choose your game options, your character gets up from the floor and engages in an animation that I don't want to spoil. It has something to do with the story arc for the mode. This animation takes 20 to 30 seconds and replaces the map loading screen that you usually see when you're waiting for the game to load a map. Once the animation is complete, you are launched directly into your game. He goes on to say, the maps, at least the ones I've seen, are very different from each other. I was thinking that they would all be similar in design and aesthetics, but it's not the case at all. They are all pretty diverse both aesthetically and structurally. Then he said there are Easter eggs, and the mode can be completed if you choose to complete it through an Easter egg. I wasn't told how, I just assumed you escape from hell or kill Lucifer or something. I was told it takes a lot of teamwork. He goes on to say there are bosses, there are multiple types of enemies. He saw grunt demons, harpy looking things, gnarly looking goat minotaur things, etc, etc. And then he also says that there are classes similar to IW's Extinction, as well as power-ups and weapons that are littered throughout the map, sort of like zombies. He says the mode has a max 8-player co-op or a 4v4, sort of like Zombies Grief. That's one of the things that I'm just kind of like, I don't know about that. I don't know if they would do an 8-person co-op. That seems kind of crazy, but at the same time, you know, maybe they're trying to mix it up. Maybe they're trying to put their Sledgehammer twist on things. So that would be pretty insane. Now, next up he says there are hidden trophies and achievements associated with the game mode that have not yet been revealed. That's very much possible. We have seen the 50 achievements for the game so far. There could be more, you know, kind of hidden for this game mode. Obviously, they wouldn't want to announce those yet. And then finally, if no photos, screenshots, or gameplay are leaked, then this mode will go unannounced until release. If, however, that is not the case, then expect a trailer to be released within a couple of days after the leak. So, there you guys have it. Hellspawn. That sounds absolutely amazing. Honestly, like, looking at what he's claimed in this post, it seems pretty plausible. Like, it seems like that's something that they would be able to put together, and it kind of seems like, you know, the next logical step. I mean, Treyarch has its zombies, Infinity Ward has its aliens and extinction, and you know, what else could you do? They could do, you know, demonic type things like we see here. They could do dinosaurs. They could do, you know, like the robots, their artificial intelligence gets a little bit too advanced and they start thinking for themselves, kind of like the Battle LA movie or whatever that was. You know, they could do stuff like that, but you know, demons, that sounds badass. Like, you know, waking up in a flickering room with, you know, satanic stuff written on the walls in blood, that sounds absolutely insane. That sounds like a crazy Call of Duty game mode if you've ever asked me. And honestly, I would love for this to be real. Now, reasons why I think it could not be real, well, I mean, first of all, we have no proof, so there's really no reason to believe this yet. But then also, I'm a little bit worried about, you know, would they want to do something this, you know, kind of involved with religion and stuff like that? Like, it seems like this could kind of offend some people, you know, the satanic stuff, the pentagrams, the, you know, all that kind of thing. So, I don't know. You know, like I said, I absolutely 110% believe that there is going to be a fourth game mode. Obviously, I can't prove that. Obviously, I'll never be, you know, like, sure that I'm right, but I just, like, my gut is telling me that there will be a fourth game mode. I do not believe Sledgehammer, that's had their finger on the pulse of this community for so long, would seriously put out a game that they've been working on for 3 years where the only co-op mode would be Exo Survival. I don't believe it, and I think you guys are crazy if you believe that they would be okay with that. Like, it'd almost be insulting, I think, you know, because they know what the community wants. They know that, like, you know, while the survival mode is kind of a fun thing, and it's something that, you know, people enjoyed in Modern Warfare 3, they know it wasn't as big as Extinction was in Ghosts, and they sure as hell know it wasn't as big as Zombies is. Like, Zombies is enormous. They are very well aware of that, and I know that they're gonna have something to kind of, you know, offer in that third place. Like, Call of Duty is now a three-headed beast. Campaign, multiplayer, co-op. They've tried to improve the campaign drastically. They're making it longer. They're making it more kind of, you know, movie and story-esque. They're, you know, getting you more connected to the characters and things like that. They've improved that. Multiplayer, insane, absolutely crazy what they have done. You know, they're keeping it the same base Call of Duty we all know and love, but they're also changing it the most it's ever been changed in the history of Call of Duty, with the addition of the exosuits, all the new pieces of equipment and grenades and things like that. And that's exactly what this community has been asking for. And you know, even further than that, the returning game modes. They're bringing back War from World at War in the form of Momentum. They're bringing back Hardpoint. They're bringing back Search and Rescue. They're bringing back Capture the Flag. They're bringing back literally everything we asked for. So, you know, multiplayer, they've improved. Now, for the third head of Call of Duty, co-op, do you really think that they would just give us Exo Survival? No freaking chance, man. I don't believe it. Hopefully they don't let me down, but I've got faith in them. I absolutely do not believe that. I think they do have something up their sleeve. Is it Hellspawn here? Could be. Sounds pretty badass. I would love it if it was. Is it not Hellspawn? Could be as well, but I bet you it is something. You know, like, I've got the gut feeling that's telling me that there is something on its way. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you, you know, feel like there is a fourth game mode coming? Do you not? If you do, what do you think about Hellspawn? Does it sound pretty plausible? Is it something you guys would like to see in the game? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you all later. Check out my YouTube screen. Seen yet? As more information comes out, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Peace out.